Hey guys, Nova Bush here, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Successor and a Direct, as Nintendo's president Furukawa has come out and made an announcement that they're going to be talking about the Switch's successor in this physical year. Let's get into it. So I just woke up, just went to Twitter and I saw this post from Furukawa, so I'm just going to read it out. So it's in English here, he has an English translation for us. This is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. We'll be making an announcement about the successor to the Nintendo Switch within this physical year. It will have been over 9 years since we've announced the existence of Nintendo Switch back in March 2015. We'll be holding a Nintendo Direct this June regarding Nintendo Switch's software lineup for the latter half of 2024. But please be aware that there will be no mention of Nintendo Switch successor during that presentation. Two things announced: Nintendo Direct in June, and Switch successor will be talked about this physical year. So this physical year, so that's from now until March 2025, which actually is a long time if you think about it. It's within 9 months, and then also the system needs to come out, so who knows when the system will come out. But yeah, finally we've had some acknowledgement from Nintendo. I mean, they had to do it. Investors were going to hound them. I think the investors briefing was today. So they had to mention it before they get into the investments meeting, because things were going to pop off. Now, yeah, first let's talk about Nintendo Direct and then we can get into the Switch. So Nintendo Direct, I actually have no idea what they're going to be announcing. Not much has really come out for the Switch for a while, at least massive or appealing. So I'm not sure what they have left. Maybe they have some Wii U ports, maybe it'll be Xenoblade X as one of the last games, maybe a Star Fox game. Who knows? I have no idea. Because it's not that they're going to come out with a big game, they're not going to come out with a Mario game, they're not going to come out with a Zelda game, DK game, they're not going to come out with anything massive, I believe. It's going to be smaller things to just, put the Switch in the dirt, just give it its last year, its accolades before they run it into the ground. Or maybe they'll come out with at least one big game to bridge the Switch to the new Switch. Obviously they won't announce this on the new Switch yet, but they'll announce it, when they announce a new Switch, possibly. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Maybe it'll be carried by third-party indie games. I'm actually not too sure right now. We have to wait and see as we get closer to the time. Now, the Switch successor. Finally, we've been waiting for this for a long time now. Honestly, I barely touch my Switch anymore. The tech was fascinating in the first, 3 years, and then after that, I've been wanting something stronger, something newer. Games that I've been running on it, they just run like garbage. To be honest, at this point. It's not been just big games, indie games as well. They just want so much better on my PC. I just buy them on PC, even indie games. 30 FPS, so many crashes, so many bugs, issues, lag, frame rate stutters. Some of these big YouTubers don't talk about this because they don't buy their games. They get free games, a lot of them get free games, and they don't play these random indie games like people like me. There's so many indie games, there's so many just games in general that have performance issues on the Switch for me, and it's just not enjoyable. Like some of my favorite games like The Last Spell or Star Renegade, Kingdoms, Two Crowns, stuff like that, Risk of Rain, some of the best indie games I played on the Switch. It just chugs. They absolutely chug. On PC it's just fine. Yeah, PC is so much more powerful, but and Switches should be able to run those games good if they can run games like Rise, but these indie games would have to put so much investment into making it run correctly for the Switch that it's not worth them doing in the end. I don't blame them for it. It's Nintendo's decision to do what they've done with the system, and it is what it is, and that's just the outcome. So as the outcome is there, my outcome is here, and this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, the Switch has outrun its time. Third-party games have run pretty damn bad for the longest of time. Even Nintendo games, they don't run that great. Some of them do. Smash one's pretty damn good. Zelda is iffy, very iffy. Since the first one, and Tears of the Kingdom, very iffy. And I definitely think the Switch held back Tears of the Kingdom. It's not much of a grander game in my opinion. There's too much similar to the first one, and not enough difference in combat. But maybe they could have done that anyway. Let's get back on topic. So yeah, this is well overdue, and I'm sure they would have done it back in 2012. 2021 if they could have. But COVID definitely restricted stuff, and the restrictions on parts and so on definitely delayed plans. There was many rumors, and I think from credible sources, very credible sources, that they were going to make something for the Switch. Not maybe a successor, maybe just, you know, an interim Switch 1.5 or whatever. It never happened. And now we're all the way in 2024, where we still don't have anything more powerful for the Switch, which is well overdue. I definitely think something should have came at least at minimum, no, maximum 2022. For me, 2020 would have been great, but 2022 definitely something should have came. Now, going forwards, what should we expect? Is this system going to be just a Switch 2, or is it going to be a whole new one? They didn't say anything here. Obviously, they're not going to give you any indications. They just said the successor to Nintendo Switch. They didn't say if it's a 2, 2. Or 1.5, or whatever. They haven't said anything. But I'm assuming it's going to be 2 from what people have said and what I think everyone's expecting. I think Nintendo Switch is a good concept and it works. I think the only issue of it is that the performance is pretty garbage, and also Nintendo doesn't do too much to the system. They don't really add much functionalities when it comes to system functionalities, features, you know, these settings for users, accessibility for people who have issues with, you know, what's it, color blindness, certain issues with eyes and understanding and reading. There's not much bigger text. Like, Nintendo doesn't offer any of this stuff, and I'm hoping they do add some more features into the new Switch. That's a big thing for me, just to make it more enjoyable. That's some of the great things about PC. It's not just the more power, it's the fact that the games are accessible. The games can be, people add so many interesting things to games on PC to make it more enjoyable on the sides, just the extra bits to show that they actually care. Nintendo don't do that. They don't do that a lot. They cut a lot of corners when it comes to the options for users, like in a lot of the games. And I hope in the new Switch that emphasis is pushed. They're pushing more on more options on games for people. There's very few games that I can think that Nintendo has. Wow, this video is turned into a rant now against Nintendo. There's many minimal games that I can think Nintendo have that actually give a lot of options to users. Like Super Smash Bros is probably the only one. There's so many things you can change when it comes to rule sets, when it comes to, you know, stages you're picking, percentage damage, stocks, life, time, stamina, all this stuff. I think they could have added some more customer skins and stuff like that, but, you know, there's a lot of options. And then there's games like, you know, Zelda, Mario, Xenoblade, all these other games that barely have any option for you to do anything for useful for the user. I think Xenoblade does have a bit more than the other games. Like, if most of the time you just press start, it's just save, or options to change the volume or brightness. That's it. There's no options on, like I said, about blindness, about keybinds, about how the character certain actions and changing certain stuff about it. Like, there's nothing. And I definitely think they need to look into that more for the next Switch. I also think they need some features when it comes to folders, actual folders. I know they added something similar to folders in the latter stages of the Switch, but you have to go all the way to the right to get to folders. In the end, I think they didn't expect people to actually buy that many games on the Switch, because the system wasn't functioned that way. It seems like it was very rushed job. You can obviously tell for the Switch, it was the OS was just rushed. Folders, some type of customization on the screen for people. When it comes to music or how it looks, not just black and white. That's boring. That is dead boring. Link it to games. You know, buying games gives you access to certain themes, certain titles. So people are like, oh cool, you know, I got this game, and now my OS looks like this. Like that's pretty cool. Allow them to do some customization on it too. The eShop on the Switch is garbage, absolute garbage. Goddamn. So I'm hoping they work on that. They fix that up. It runs so slow, as you might know. I don't know if you know, I'm a software engineer. I'm a mobile app developer, specifically on iOS. And yeah, when it comes to paging and calling APIs and tables and refreshing stuff, you know, we do this all the time. Think of apps like Twitter. It doesn't chug as you scroll down. You know, it's quite smooth. You can just scroll, and then after, you know, you scroll a bit, it starts refreshing and you get more data. As it pages. Paging is basically, you know, there's a certain amount of content items on the screen at once, and then once you reach the threshold of how many items you've reached, we then call an API, or the server, whatever you want to call it, to get more items to show to the user. We page more items, basically. It's like a page. And Nintendo, I don't know, it's just so slow. It's just so sluggish. It doesn't seem like it pages properly. It doesn't seem like it caches properly. It's just a bit of everywhere. It takes so long to load. Images take so long to load. It's an absolute mess. If you put this out on an app, an iPhone, any app in general, you like, people would laugh at you. Like, it's a joke. Like, you get fired on the spot. I don't know how Nintendo got away with this for like 7 and a bit years, coming into the 8th year. I don't know how they get away with it. Like, it's crazy how the eShop still runs like this. Like, what boss? Who is the technical division master? Who is the tech director? Who is head of tech? Like, I don't know who you are, but that should have been fixed. Like, in the first week. Honestly, I don't understand how and why it runs so bad. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, the eShop is basic stuff. Paging is basic stuff. Showing stuff in the screen, in the list, in the table, is basic. And somehow it's so messy for the Switch 2. I mean, for the Switch 1. Hopefully in the Switch 2 or whatever's next, it's fixed and eShop is more enjoyable. A lot of the time, I don't even buy games on Switch anymore. I used to go looking at Switch a lot on the eShop just to see what games on discounts. I don't even do that anymore. I haven't done that in like 4 years because eShop's just a mess. I just can't be bothered to go on it. I then went on the website. The website's much better. But you know, yeah, so I buy games from them, and I do buy games. I don't buy it on the eShop because the eShop's just a mess. It's just not enjoyable to go there. It's very hard to find new games or games in general. It needs to be fixed. Now, friends, they need to do more friends. All you can do with your friends on the Switch is know that you have friends, know what games they're playing, and when they log on. That's literally it. Now, they added features to actually invite people to games. No game uses this. I think one game uses it, Divinity 2 Sin. Which is a great game, by the way. It uses it. But apart from that, no Nintendo game uses it. Smash doesn't use it. Why didn't they integrate into Smash? Why didn't they integrate into Super Mario Party? Or, Strikers or something. Like, nothing. Nintendo's using their own features. It's ridiculous. These features need to be there at the start. Invite people to your group, parties, voice chat. I don't give a crap. All of it should be there. People need options. Yeah, people might use Discord instead, but people should have options on what they use and why they use what they use. As a developer, you should give people the options to use what they want as your customer, and you should also want them to be in your ecosystem. You don't want them to go to other places. You want them to be on your own. The fact they haven't implemented something like this by now is ridiculous. From a company apparently who pushes innovation and technology, why, like, you're not pushing any of that. Like, sometimes you decide to push technology in the ways that you think technology should be, not in the ways that technology could be, or improving what it is right now, and it just makes a mess. Like, but if you need, just use Discord. Get Discord to help you out. Maybe get Microsoft to help you out with some of your services. It's fine. Companies always do that. It's just a part of, you know, the how tech works. You know, if you don't have the facilities and what's it called, the experience in a certain field, you will then get someone else to do it for you, because it just makes more sense that way rather than spending all your time and effort and money to get up and running in that field. And by the time you get running in that field, maybe it's too late and things have moved on and you're already behind. So, and you already are behind by like 20 years anyway. So just use someone else, I would say. Parties, voice chat, features on when it comes to friends and how you group friends and so on. Like, there needs to be more. Now, when it comes to the Switch itself and power, I suppose we haven't talked much about this because, I mean, I have no idea how powerful it's going to be. Rumors have said it's going to be upscaled 4K 60 FPS, which would be great. No, I said upscaled, not native 4K, because as a portable, I had a portable custom console that might be out of the range. The hybrid might be out of the range, but upscaled 4K with DLSS and whatever Nvidia can give to Nintendo, I think this is very possible. So hopefully we're in that range, and that would be great. Now, the 60 FPS is more important, but you know, having your games look better in 2024 or 2025, which the system will probably come out, we should probably they want it to last another 7 years. It's, you know, I think it's quite fair for them to aim for, right? Now, when it comes to games, I'm hoping we get a lot of support from not just from the East but from the West as well. More RPGs, more some MMOs, in fact, like big games, interesting games. You more action games, more story games, more effort in the story games. Definitely from Nintendo, like they don't put too much effort in the story games. They don't put voice acting. They don't do a lot sometimes. And I want more from the games. You know, I want more. It'll be interesting to see that. Yeah, and I hope we get a lot of the indie games that haven't, you know, that be missing. You know, Katana Zero DLC, The Messenger 2, which is a Legend 2. Like all these brilliant, absolute monster of indie games that came out in the first half of Nintendo Switch title lifespan that has been missing. Like I did, those games need to come out. I love those games, man, and I do love playing indie games on my Switch. I did in the past, now I don't, just due to the performance is just garbage, so I prefer to play it on PC. Now, when I think this is gonna come out, I'm not too sure, but maybe it'll come out. Yeah, maybe March again. Maybe it'll come out in March. Maybe they'll announce this in October. Like, who knows? That could be very possible. Maybe they'll announce it in to talk about it in November. But I think it has to come out, you know, sooner rather than later. The Switch is on its, you know, its last legs, and we need new, interesting stuff in Nintendo ecosystem. Now, I might not even buy the system. Definitely not straight away. It depends. Really depends on the games they show and the improvements they make. Because if they don't make much and they don't show much new, I'm just gonna keep on playing PC. Because that's what I've been playing for the last 2 or 3 years now. And yeah, we'll just ride out on PC until they actually show something that I actually care about. But yeah, that's it for me. Sorry for the rant. Wow, it's been like 17 minutes. Like, damn, I've been recording for a while now. Let me know what you guys think down below about this news, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.